In this video, we'll learn about possessive pronouns. In English, possessive pronouns are of two types: dependent possessive pronouns and independent possessive pronouns. In this video, we'll only talk about dependent possessive pronouns, and in the next video, we'll talk about independent possessive pronouns. Dependent possessive pronouns are the following: my, your, his, her, its, our, your, their. We use possessive pronouns to indicate a relationship of possession or ownership. For instance, this is Tom, and this book belongs to Tom. This is his book. As you can see in this last sentence, I use possessive pronoun his, which is highlighted in red, to indicate this relationship. Now let's have a look at a few more examples using possessive pronouns. This book belongs to me. This is my book. This book belongs to you. This is your book. This book belongs to him. This is his book. This book belongs to her. This is her book. This book belongs to us. This is our book. This book belongs to you. This is your book. This book belongs to them. This is their book. Now let's see how to use dependent possessive pronouns in a sentence. Alright, dependent possessive pronouns are always followed by a noun. Once again, I repeat, dependent possessive pronouns are always followed by a noun. You cannot use a dependent possessive pronoun on its own. And if you are going to use to be with a dependent possessive pronoun, then you have to know that in such sentences, to be will be determined by the noun. Once again, I repeat, to be will be determined by the noun, not by the dependent possessive pronoun. Let's look at a few examples to clarify this further. For instance, my book is interesting. As you can see here, to be is in the singular form, and the reason is because the noun is in the singular form. But if you say my books, then you have to say are interesting, and the reason is because here the noun is in the plural form. And as you can see here, dependent possessive pronoun, which is my, had no role in determining the form of to be. The second example would be your room is big. And once again, we see to be is in the singular form, and the reason is because room is in the singular form. But if you say your rooms, then you have to say are big. And the reason, once again, is because the noun in this sentence is in the plural form. And once again, what we see is that dependent possessive pronoun had no role in determining the form of to be. Third example would be his sister is older. And once again, what we see is that to be is in the singular form, and the reason is because the noun is in the singular form. But if you say his sisters, then you have to say are older. And the reason is again the same, because the noun is in the plural form. And once again, the dependent possessive pronoun, which is his, had no role in determining the form of to be. Fourth example would be our friend is here. And once again, what we see is that to be is in the singular form, and the reason is because the noun is in the singular form. But if we say our friends, then we have to say are here. And the reason is because our noun here is in the plural form. And our dependent possessive pronoun has no role in determining the form of to be. And the last example would be their product is expensive. And here again, to be is in the singular form because the product is in the singular form. But if you say their products, which is in the plural form, then you have to say are expensive. And once again, the dependent possessive pronoun had no role in determining the form of to be. Now, the same rule will apply even if you are going to use a dependent possessive pronoun with a verb. Once again, the verb will be determined by the noun, not by dependent possessive pronoun. Now, let's look at a few examples for more clarification. For instance, my sister works at school. Here you see that the verb is in the third person singular. And the reason is because the noun is in the singular form. But if you say my sisters, then you have to say work at school. You use the verb in the plural form in such sentence because here the noun is in the plural form. And as you can see here, the dependent possessive pronoun had no role in determining the form of verb. The second example would be your cousin goes to party, and here the verb is in the third person singular, and the reason is because the noun is in the singular form. But if you say your cousins, then you have to say go to party. You have to use the verb in the plural form because the noun is in the plural form. And once again, what we see is that the dependent possessive pronoun had no role in determining the form of verb. Third example would be her puppy plays in the yard. And the verb, once again, is in the singular form because the noun is in the singular form. But if you say her puppies, then you have to say play in the yard because the noun in this sentence is in the plural form. And once again, the dependent possessive pronoun had no role in determining the form of the verb. Fourth example would be our friend plays basketball. And here we see the verb is in the singular form because the noun is in the singular form. But if you say our friends, then you have to say play in basketball because our noun here is in the plural form. And once again, the dependent possessive pronoun had no role in determining the verb form. The last sentence would be their child studies at a college. Here, the verb is in the singular form because the noun is in the singular form. But if you say they are children, then you have to say study at a college. And the reason is because the children is in the plural form. And once again, what we see is that the dependent possessive pronoun had no role whatsoever in determining the form of verb. Now it's time for you to practice what you have learned so far. For quiz 1, I would like you to think of proper dependent possessive pronoun for each personal pronoun you see on the screen. You have 30 seconds to prepare your answer. After 30 seconds, I'll show you the correct answers for you to cross-check. All right, time is up. Here are the correct answers for quiz 1. It, its, she, her, you, your, he, his, we, our, they, their, I, my. All right, for quiz 2, I would like you to fill in the blank spaces with proper dependent possessive pronouns. Once again, you have 30 seconds to prepare your answers. After 30 seconds, I'll show you the correct answers so that you can cross-check. All right, time is up. Here are the correct answers for quiz 2. Jack has a red car. His car is red. I have a green jacket. My jacket is green. The dog has a short tail. Its tail is short. You have a nice house. Your house is nice. Sarah has a little sister. Her sister is little. My parents have a house in the city. Their house is in the city. Last but not least, it's time for homework. I would like you to use each dependent possessive pronoun at least in 2 sentences. You can also write down the sentences in the comment section below. I'll try to check them for you whenever I can. Thanks for watching. Talk to you in the next video.